Hola clase, today we are talking about indefinite articles. So we're talking about articles again, and we have already talked about what an article is and how it's a part of speech. And in English, we only have a few articles, and those are the, a, and some. Today, we've already talked about definite articles, so articles when we're talking about a specific thing, the ways we say the. So we talked about how we would say the pen, maybe the blue pen or the pen that's sitting next to you. We're going to specify, we're talking about something specific when we're using el, la, los, or las. So we have our definite articles here. As I mentioned, el, la, los, and las. Now, who remembers why we have all four of these definite articles? You're right. The reason we have these is because in Spanish we have gender. So we have different articles for masculine or boy words and feminine or girl words. We also have different versions of the for words that are singular, words that there's something that there's only one of. Oops, I said two. And plural, words that there are more than one of, and usually end in S. So we have different ways to say the based on whether a word is masculine or feminine, and based on whether a word is singular or plural. So that's why we have all these different ways to say the. And I'll put a reminder here that that is what that means. Now, today we're going to talk about indefinite articles. Those are articles that are not talking about we use when we're not talking about a specific noun. So instead of saying pass me the pen, I might just say pass me a pen. I'm probably not talking about a specific pen. I just want you to pass me one of the pens. Now, if I'm wanting to talk about something that there's more than one of, I'm not going to say pass me the grapes, the specific grapes. I might say pass me some grapes, which is I'm asking you to just give me a few of those. So that is the difference between an indefinite, something that's not specific, and a definite article that's talking about something specific. So today, as we talk about the indefinite articles, the same rules are going to apply as with the definite articles. So we're going to have a masculine and a feminine version, and each of those is going to have a singular and a plural version. So we have four different articles to say a, an, or some. So let's go ahead and talk about our masculine, singular, indefinite article. So how we would say a or an. And that is going to be un. Un. And it's really similar, you might notice, to uno, which means one. But again, we're only talking about one thing, so that kind of makes sense that we would say un, and that would be similar to uno. Now, our feminine version is kind of going to be like the girl version of uno, and that would be una. Una. Now, as a reminder, most of our masculine or boy words end in what letter? That's right, they end in O. Right? And most of our feminine words are going to end with what letter? That's right, A. So our masculine words, a lot of them are going to end in O. Our feminine words, a lot of them are going to end in A. Not always, but a lot of the times. So we want to recognize that this ends in an A, and that makes sense. Now, we also have masculine words that are going to end in E as well. So most of the E words that we have learned that end in E are going to be masculine. Just for future reference, we want to make that clear. Now, we're talking about plurals. So this is a little more complicated, kind of for the masculine than for the feminine, just like el and los, not exactly alike. Here, where our masculine plural is going to be unos. Unos. So if it's something that has more than one and it's masculine, it's going to be unos. And that's how we say some. And then our feminine version, unas. You may have been able to guess that. Unas. Right? So we have un, una, unos, and unas. So again, we're going to go through these words down here, and I want us to ask ourselves, is it singular or plural? If it doesn't end in an S, it is not plural. All right? In Spanish, that is a rule that we're going to keep. Now, then the tricky part comes. We have to ask, is it masculine or feminine? Sometimes we can use these endings to help us out. Sometimes we might have to look at what the word means. So let's look here. So libro, book. Are we going to use un, una, unos, or unas? Well, first ask yourself, is it singular or plural? I don't see an S on the end, so I know it's singular. I'm only talking about one book. So is it going to be un or una? Well, this one's easy because libro ends in an O. That tells me it's going to be un libro. Now look at carpetas. Is this singular or plural? Well, there's an S on the end. I know that carpeta is a word that I've learned that means folder. So carpetas must be plural for folders. So I know I'm here in the plural row, but is it masculine or feminine? Well, I can look at the ending and know that it's going to be unas carpetas because it's feminine. All right, this next one might be a little tricky, but we have the word parque. Which article am I going to use for parque? So I want you to look up there. Is it un, una, unos, or unas? Well, it's singular, right? And it's masculine, so it's going to be un parque. Next up, gatos, singular or plural? Plural, because it ends in an S. Masculine or feminine? Masculine. So we're going to have unos gatos. And let's do one more before you practice on your own. Silla. Is it singular or plural? Singular. Masculine or feminine? Feminine. So it is una silla. Muy bien. All right, I want you to pause the video and answer the next 5. Do what you can. Ask yourself, is it singular or plural? Masculine or feminine? And choose the correct article. Then when you're ready, press play and we'll go over the answers. All right, so let's talk about our answers here. So we have the word mesas. What did you get for that one? You're exactly right. It's plural and it's feminine, so it's going to be unas mesas. What about escritorio? You're exactly right. It's singular and masculine, so un escritorio. What about cuadernos? It is plural and it is masculine, so it'll be unos cuadernos. Let's come back here, or let's look at señor, because this was probably the trickiest one. Doesn't end in O or E, doesn't end in A. We know it's singular because it doesn't end in an S, so we're not worried about these two, but is it un or una? Now, if you know what señor means, then this is an easy question. If you don't, that makes it a little trickier. But señor means Mr. or Sir. So are we going to use un or una? Because is that a title for a man or a boy or a woman or a lady? It's going to be a title for a boy. So we're going to use un señor. That was a little tricky one. All right. And then finally you have bandera. And you're right, it's singular, it's feminine, so it's going to be una bandera. All right, so go back into your assignment. Keep working on that and doing your best. If you need to rewatch this video, you can. But keep thinking and asking yourself, is it singular or plural, masculine or feminine? Buena suerte.